A federal charge, but he is not, we're told, by the U.S. Attorney's Office in Chicago in federal custody tonight. But people here at Dalton Village Hall say they haven't seen him either since word of that indictment dropped just a few hours ago.
Two controversial South suburban politicians been fired as federal investigators focus in on his boss.
WGN Investigates has confirmed Tiffany Henyard, senior advisor in Thornton Township, is out of a...
Federal prosecutors have accused Keith Freeman of concealing assets and income in his bankruptcy case, part of a growing investigation involving multiple lawsuits. Senior authorities in Dalton and surrounding South suburban areas are handling the inquiries. Freeman, once a trusted ally of Mayor Tiffany Henyard, is now at the center of a controversy. Henyard initially gained support for her bold leadership, restructuring her team and bringing in new staff members, however, as more former employees, including Freeman, have come forward with allegations. Doubts about her ethics have surfaced. Freeman, once loyal to Henyard, has reportedly turned against her, providing critical information to the FBI. This shift raises questions about how their relationship deteriorated. Freeman's role in the investigation, particularly after his involvement in a high-profile bankruptcy case, adds complexity to the ongoing legal battles. With former employees accusing Henyard of unethical behavior, trust in her actions is waning, overshadowing her early popularity and raising serious doubts about her leadership.
He's been in and out of trouble since he was a young person. He was charged for theft in 2000. He was charged with a felony in Iowa when he turned 27. This was back in 2005. Theft in the second degree. Oh, Keith is a busybody. He has a long rap sheet. He never cleared up his charges because back in 2011, he was in Palm Beach, Florida, where they extradited him back to Iowa. They said out-of-state fugitive. Fugitive from refugitive from justice. That's your boy, Keith Freeman. Because we all know Tiffany Henyard made a big fuss about not giving background checks. And this is one of the reasons why she did want to give a background check. Because anybody that works for a municipal department or the city can have felonies.
Both Dalton and Thornton Township is charged with fraud connected to an alleged bankruptcy scheme.
The village also completed negotiations with the police patrol, police lieutenants, and the sergeants.
At a recent village board meeting, Keith Freeman, sitting next to EMB battle and Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard, was seen discussing finances. Freeman, who is also the Ford Township municipal manager, is facing serious legal trouble. The U.S. attorney has accused him of concealing assets and income from creditors in his bankruptcy case, which could lead up to 5 years in prison if convicted. Freeman filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy in the U.S. Bankruptcy Court in Chicago on January 3, 2024, allegedly underreporting his income. Despite his claims, his actual income was far higher than what was disclosed. Attempts to reach Freeman and other Dalton officials for comment have gone unanswered.
So expensive apartment. You're collecting money from the village of Dalton, and you're also collecting money from Thornton Township. So you're making about $150,000 a year. I'm pretty sure it's more. He's saying that he only worked for Thornton Township. Your income, Thornton Township, municipality manager, gross income $5,800. Now, I'm not the smartest tool in the shed, but from the payroll expenses of Village of Dalton payroll, Keith is on here. This was just in October. Keith Freeman, $3,800 every 2 weeks. And he claims that he only makes $5,800 from Thornton Township, employer's name, Thornton Township. Reason why he's trying to get away with it is because Keith is a 1099 employee. He's not paying no taxes off his income. No Social Security taxes, no medical taxes, no benefits.
A serious allegation has been filed against Keith Freeman by the municipality of Robbins, where he served as village administrator from 2017 to 2021. The village claims Freeman failed to provide required documents and, to make matters worse, he collected approximately $9,396 more than he was entitled to during his term. Freeman is also accused of further misrepresenting his financial situation by creating a fake 2022 income tax return to submit to the Chapter 7 trustee. He allegedly supplied documents showing a significantly lower income than he actually earned, despite not filing a tax return for that year.
I mean, if a person can lie on their own financials, what do you think they're doing for the village? Nobody is untouchable. That's what I want to say. Nobody is untouchable. So if this is just the first domino to all of them falling.
Keith Freeman plays a significant role in the investigation of Tiffany Henyard due to his numerous positions under her influence, beyond his roles in Dalton and Ford Township. Freeman was also, for a time, the registered agent of the Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation. However, no such foundation exists in the state of Illinois. The charity, which claims to assist cancer patients, has been under scrutiny for receiving a majority of its initial funding from taxpayers. Investigations revealed that it failed to file required paperwork about how the funds were spent, raising questions about its legitimacy. When questioned about these discrepancies, Freeman's responses were evasive, with him offering little more than a dismissive remark. Additionally, Freeman is facing serious legal issues. The indictment details a January 30th, 2024, incident where Freeman testified under oath during a creditor's conference, falsely stating that he was not employed by Dalton and had not received payments from the village. These false statements were part of a scheme to conceal his true financial situation from the court. Freeman is charged with one count of bankruptcy fraud. After allegedly misrepresenting his income, he claimed to work solely for the township and reported earning just over $999,000 in the past year, but prosecutors argue that he hid his Dalton earnings through a pass-through company, which inflated his income to $195,000. The indictment also includes a claim from Robbins, where Freeman previously served as village administrator. The village asserts that Freeman took over $90,000 without authorization during his tenure. If convicted of bankruptcy fraud, Freeman faces up to 5 years in federal prison. Federal authorities, including the acting U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Illinois, FBI, and IRS special agents, have stressed the gravity of the charges. Meanwhile, Dalton officials are eager for Freeman to depart, seeking to distance themselves from the growing controversy.
A lot of controversy on whether or not he was an employee or if he was contracted. Now they're saying that he didn't list this information.
And if he can't handle his own business, how in the world can he handle?
Trouble continues to mount for Mayor Tiffany Henyard of Dalton, Illinois, as federal fraud allegations against her longtime ally, Dalton Administrator Keith Freeman, come to light. Freeman, once a trusted figure in local politics, now finds himself at the center of a growing scandal that has divided the community. A leader of a local organization spoke out about Freeman's actions, calling them an embarrassment to town. "We've been waiting for some justice to be served," the leader said. At the next board meeting, if he shows up, I'll ask him to step down. Freeman, who entered a not guilty plea to federal bankruptcy fraud charges, was released under a $5,000 unsecured bond with sealed restrictions. However, his legal troubles don't stop there. Freeman is also named in a separate lawsuit against both the village and the embattled mayor. Despite Freeman's long-standing reputation as a trusted public figure in Dalton, his indictment for bankruptcy fraud has thrust him into the spotlight in a way no one could have predicted. After his arraignment, Freeman's lawyer, speaking to the media, seemed surprised by the level of attention the case was receiving. "I think many practitioners in this building would be surprised to see this level of attention and press paid to a bankruptcy indictment," the lawyer remarked. When asked if the indictment could be a strategy by the government to pressure Freeman into cooperating with their investigation, the lawyer suggested that questions should be directed at the government. Freeman's legal issues have had far-reaching consequences, not just for him, but also for Henyard's administration. The allegations against Freeman, which stem from his involvement in bankruptcy fraud, are compounded by a lawsuit from a Dalton property owner. The property owner, Tyren, claims that Freeman played a part in denying him a business license to open a barbershop in Dalton. Tyren initially met with Freeman, who assured him that he would receive all necessary permits to begin work on his property. However, during a subsequent meeting, Freeman allegedly did not even recognize Tyren and acted dismissively, leading him to believe that his project had been deliberately blocked. Tyren's claim is supported by a building inspector who stated that Henyard had expressed a desire to control the properties in Dalton, possibly to take ownership of the land for herself. This allegation paints a picture of a chaotic situation in Dalton, where Henyard's leadership is being questioned and criticized by those who feel marginalized by her administration. The tension surrounding Henyard's conduct has sparked growing frustration within the community. Tyren's attempt to turn his property into a viable business was thwarted by what he describes as personal interference from Henyard. According to the building inspector, Tiffany Henyard didn't want anybody to get these properties because she wanted to land the local community, is now grappling with questions about Henyard's intentions and the legitimacy of her actions as mayor. Despite the ongoing investigations and legal troubles surrounding her administration, Henyard has remained defiant, maintaining that she is simply the target of detractors. "I am the target of people who want to see me fail. Henyard reportedly said last month, dismissing the allegations as politically motivated. However, the mounting legal challenges and accusations against Freeman, combined with Tyron's lawsuit and other frustrations from residents, suggest that Henyard's grip on power may be slipping. As legal cases continue to unfold, the community is left to wonder if justice will be served and whether Henyard will be held accountable for her alleged mismanagement of the town. The situation has escalated to a point where not only Freeman's future in Dalton is in jeopardy, but also Henyard's leadership and reputation. The legal battle, combined with public outrage over Freeman's actions and the mayor's alleged interference in local real estate, has cast a shadow over the future of both figures in local politics. The pressure is mounting, and whether Freeman and Henyard can navigate their respective legal issues remains to be seen. However, one thing is clear. The fallout from these allegations is far from over, and the road ahead for both of them will likely be filled with further complications and challenges of controversy surrounding Henyard. The first black female mayor of Dalton has intensified due to her close ties with Keith Freeman, a senior advisor to Henyard and an administrator in Dalton. Freeman's mounting legal issues, including federal investigations and accusations of misconduct, have put Henyard under greater scrutiny. The political fallout from their connection threatens to undermine her leadership. During a tense meeting, Henyard clashed with fellow trustees, accusing them of spreading lies about her management. The session was marked by heated debates about the township's financial decisions, particularly regarding spending and the lack of a new budget. Henyard defended her leadership, insisting that she had cleaned up the township's finances, but trustees questioned the allocation of funds, pointing to questionable expenses such as thousands of dollars spent on Amazon purchases, bakery cakes for community events, and tens of thousands of dollars for a one-day event. The Taste-a-thon Township, these expenditures raised eyebrows among the trustees, who voted to stop funding for upcoming events like House Fest and Gospel Fest. Henyard, however, became visibly agitated, accusing the trustees of operating out of hatred and emotion rather than reason. She claimed that the township had a surplus thanks to Freeman's management. The tension within the board has become increasingly palpable, with trustees questioning Henyard's financial decisions and the legitimacy of her administration's spending. The public's frustration with Henyard's leadership continues to grow as her association with Freeman and the ongoing legal issues weigh heavily on her reputation. While Henyard continues to defend herself against the accusations, the increasing scrutiny and backlash from both the community and political figures within Dalton suggests that her ability to maintain control of the town is being severely tested. The mounting legal challenges facing Freeman, combined with public doubts about Henyard's handling of the town's finances and the interference in local property deals, have created a volatile political climate. The coming months will be crucial in determining whether Henyard can weather the storm of legal troubles and public criticism, or if the weight of these controversies will cause her leadership to unravel. As investigations continue and lawsuits mount, the residents of Dalton are left to question whether the town's leadership will be able to restore faith in its governance, or if deeper issues of mismanagement and corruption will continue to surface. The political climate in Dalton, Illinois, has become increasingly volatile as allegations against Mayor Tiffany Henyard continue to mount. Her leadership is now under intense scrutiny, with both legal and political challenges threatening to overshadow her tenure. These challenges have intensified in the wake of federal fraud allegations against her longtime ally, Keith Freeman, who has been at the center of a growing scandal. Freeman, once a trusted figure in Dalton's political landscape, now faces legal trouble that includes accusations of bankruptcy fraud and misconduct during his tenure as the village administrator. Freeman's legal troubles have only deepened the divide between Henyard and the village trustees. The mayor's decision to stand by Freeman for as long as she did has sparked criticism from opposition members. Freeman was fired from his role in Thornton Township due to multiple allegations of misconduct, including absenteeism and allegations of misbehavior. Freeman had claimed to be on family medical leave, but failed to submit the necessary application for the leave. The HR department at Thornton Township responded with a termination letter on July 9th, emphasizing that Freeman's position was too important to ignore the severity of his conduct. This firing only served to further fracture Henyard's already troubled administration. Trustees, who had been questioning Freeman's influence within the village government, saw this as evidence of poor judgment by Henyard. Many residents, too, began to express concerns about the mayor's ability to lead. Freeman's departure from Thornton Township, coupled with the legal investigation surrounding him, placed additional pressure on Henyard's leadership. As Freeman's legal issues continue to unfold, the political fallout for Henyard seems inevitable. Henyard's defenders argue that she is being unfairly targeted by detractors who want to bring down her leadership. However, her critics point to the growing scandals surrounding her administration as evidence of mismanagement and poor judgment. These include questionable financial decisions, allegations of misusing public funds for personal promotion, and a troubling lack of accountability in the allocation of taxpayer money. The ongoing investigations, combined with the lawsuit filed against Henyard and Freeman, have cast a dark shadow over her political future. As Freeman faces federal charges of bankruptcy fraud and other legal scrutiny, some have speculated that the federal government may be pressuring him to cooperate with their investigation into Henyard's administration. The possibility that Freeman may provide damaging information about the mayor has added fuel to the fire, raising suspicions that the legal battles could become a strategy to force Freeman to implicate Henyard in the process. One of the most significant sources of criticism for Henyard has been her alleged misuse of public funds, particularly her extravagant spending on private travel. A controversial trip to Las Vegas last May has become a focal point of the criticism. The trip, which reportedly cost taxpayers thousands of dollars, sparked outrage among residents. In the wake of the controversy, one citizen even called Henyard the worst mayor in American history. Henyard's response to these allegations has been defensive, rather than directly addressing questions about her spending. She has opted to use her platform to attack her critics, calling those who question her integrity liars. While failing to offer clear explanations for her actions, Henyard's refusal to engage with opposition trustees and her tendency to dismiss legitimate concerns about the township's finances have only fueled the growing discontent within the community. Her interactions with the village board have become increasingly contentious, with trustees demanding more transparency regarding the village's vendors and bills before they sign off on expenditures. This lack of transparency has become a point of contention as Henyard's critics argue that she is failing to provide the necessary information to the board or to the public. The pressure is mounting on Henyard as the allegations of financial mismanagement, abuse of power, and lack of accountability continue to pile up. The fallout from Freeman's legal issues has made it even harder for the mayor to distance herself from the controversy. As the legal battles and investigations continue to unfold, Henyard's ability to maintain control over Dalton is being called into question. The legal and political battles surrounding Henyard's administration came to a head during a special village board meeting, where residents voiced their concerns about the ongoing controversies. The meeting, which focused on a range of allegations, including sexual harassment, retaliation, and discrimination, was particularly significant because Henyard was notably absent. The Illinois Department of Human Rights is currently investigating the mayor and an unnamed village trustee in connection with a complaint filed by Henyard's former assistant, who alleges that she was sexually assaulted during the mayor's controversial Las Vegas trip. The absence of Henyard from the meeting only added to the sense of frustration among residents. As the investigation into her administration continues, the tension between Henyard and the trustees grows more palpable. The fallout from Freeman's firing, his legal troubles, and Henyard's continued involvement in Dalton's political landscape have only served to fuel the fire. The public's trust in Henyard has been shaken, and many are beginning to question her ability to lead. Henyard's political standing is also under threat due to a bombshell financial report presented during the meeting. The report, prepared by former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, revealed troubling findings about Henyard's alleged misuse of village funds. The investigation focused on questionable credit card transactions, including thousands of dollars in charges that were not properly explained, as well as millions of dollars in outstanding payments to vendors. The financial report painted a grim picture of the township's financial situation, revealing a deficit of $3.65 million in the general fund. As of May 31st of the current year, the financial crisis in Dalton is just one more complication for Henyard, who is already facing federal scrutiny, multiple lawsuits, and mounting public criticism. The revelations from the financial report shocked residents and fueled their growing disillusionment with Henyard's leadership. Many began to demand accountability for the way village funds had been mismanaged. As Henyard continues to deflect and dismiss her critics, the pressure on her political future only intensifies. The mounting challenges have left residents wondering how long Henyard will be able to maintain her leadership in the face of growing controversies. With investigations into her administration ongoing and her financial mismanagement exposed, her position as mayor is becoming increasingly precarious. The future of Dalton hangs in the balance as residents and trustees alike continue to question Henyard's ability to lead the town effectively. As the situation continues to unfold, Henyard's leadership is under greater scrutiny than ever before. The combination of legal issues, financial mismanagement, and growing public dissatisfaction has created a perfect storm for Henyard. Whether she can weather this storm and hold on to her position as mayor remains to be seen. The coming months will be critical as the investigation into her administration progresses and the political landscape of Dalton continues to shift. The residents of Dalton are waiting anxiously to see whether Henyard will be able to restore trust in her leadership or if her political reign is nearing its end.